discuss problem-based learning and research-informed teaching, two learning aspects. So first half will be problem-based learning, and the second half will go into a bit more research aspects as well, how we can bring our own research into our learning. Seems you are down, or are you happy? RCB won yesterday, yeah? So yeah, you should be happy. So first, yeah, as I said, two different approaches, learning approaches. So we'll discuss in today morning session. So the first part will be problem-based learning, but I'll do a bit of comparison with project-based learning as well down the line. So we will outline the approach and possible solutions, what are the opportunities and barriers as well to adapt problem-based learning in the classroom, as well as how we can align for the program objectives, learning objectives of each module. You call here papers or course or module, and the learning approaches, and then how we can link it to the assessment as well. So it's like the workshop we did yesterday. I can see familiar faces from yesterday as well. So you will give them students a problem, and they have to come up with a solution. So that's the approach. So it can be a particular part of the module, or it can be the whole module. You give a big problem to them, and you will teach different material in order to overcome the address that particular problem, and you will come up with a solution as well. Yeah, thank you. So this is an activity for all of you. So two example scenarios, problems, I would say. You don't have to be from this particular discipline. The first module is applied cryptography. Let's say how to secure our communication during the quantum computing era. Yeah. So you know the padlock when we are surfing web, HTTPS. Yeah. So we are using a secure connection, isn't it, when you are browsing the internet? So what would happen to that kind of communication when people are talking about quantum computers, yeah? And what would happen and how we can secure, yeah? So that's the one problem. And the another one is data protection. I think I talked to one of the your academics, so he mentioned that he's working on biometrics, privacy preserving biometrics, you know, the fingerprints, iris scan, face scan, and so many other approaches. So how you can secure privacy when it comes to biometrics. So these are two problems. So we'll start with the activity because it is about problem-based learning. So we'll give you a problem, and I'll ask you to come up with a solution. And I want you to discuss what are the lacking. In order to address this problem, what you need and what you already know. And I want you to connect the dots and maybe come up with a plan. Yeah? So I will go through the different aspects of problem-based learning, but at the beginning I want you to discuss these two particular problems within your groups. So how do you want to group yourself? Are you going to choose your own groups, or shall I do a bit of counting? Yeah? How many we have? Around 50 today? Yeah? If academics can sit with the students, that would be great. Yeah? Yeah, yes, please, yeah. Or shall I do a small approach? Shall we count up to 1 to 7? Yeah, you are 7. That's great. So all ones can come to one table, all to another table. So you can group together. Yeah. So you can choose one of these problems or something your own, yeah, not a family problem, but something related to the subject you are doing, yeah. So two examples are given. You can choose one of them, or you can choose you from your discipline as well. It should be a bit complex, you know. It shouldn't be a straightforward one. This may be a 12 weeks module, you know. So within the 12 weeks, you are going to solve this particular problem by acquiring different knowledge within every week. Yeah. Try to relate to what you know already. Yeah, I know some of you are MSc students, so if you take cryptography, at least you may know the basic of encryption, decryption. So you can relate back to the advanced technologies. So which you will acquire in, let's say, this module. Yeah, and it is same for the biometrics. So you know, you are sharing so many photos and other things on Instagram, Facebook. So you can think about the risks of exposing yourself on the social media, and what kind of approaches you can take it to reduce the risk of someone stealing your identity. So have the initial thoughts and try to sink in the problem. Then I'll guide you through a couple of steps that you can think of in order to address this particular problem. I think they can choose one of the problems within the group. It's up to you. Or if they are not familiar to you for your discipline, choose something else. That's fine. But it should be something latest, you know, something happening at the moment. I got to choose a different topic or? Ah, okay. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Okay. All good, sir. Which topic are you going to choose? Data protection. Good topic. How about your topic? Second one. I mean, if you have to address that particular problem, so what you want to know, and what you already know, and what you need to study in order to address the problem, you know, because you may not have the knowledge at the moment, but you can connect back to the what you already know, you know. So that's what I want you to do. Yeah, but yeah, not the full technical knowledge. Yeah, yeah. So let's say you give this problem to a group of students, so how they are going to address, what kind of steps they would follow. Yeah, I'll in a minute I'll show you some steps, but I want you to have the initial thinking. Ah, yeah, that's fine. Sorry.
Sir, any issues with the communication, how we are able to address that issues like that? For example, biometrics. So how secure are that?
Yes, I mean, yeah. So if this problem was given to you in a group work, how you are going to address? What are the approaches? You know, some of you may know some of the knowledge already, and but you may be lacking in certain aspects. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. There are a couple of chairs here as well if you want to sit around this area. Uh, you want to join a couple of groups? Two of you can go to that group maybe, and one of you can join with them. Yeah. You can drag the chair and go there and join here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
We had made 7 groups. There are 7 groups, no? Let another 2 or 3 people from computer science join all of you. So one group can be 8 members now. Then other New groups are here. Seven. Which are the 7 groups? Just raise your hand, one of you. Okay. Where is the new group? This is. Yours will be 8. Group number 8. Group number 9 and group number 10. Okay. There is another group there. Your group 11. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Uh, Prof- Professor Khan, it would be good to if one academic can. Those who join new, so we are discussing couple of problems here. Can you see? So I want to see whether you can address these kind of problems. Let's say you have been assigned in a classroom, in a group setting, so whether you can address these 2 problems. So one is on communication, securing the communication channel, and the second one is on biometrics, privacy, how to preserve privacy in biometric applications. Yeah. Feel free to talk within your groups, but not making noise. Yeah. So from the initial 7 groups, can I have your attention? Yeah, the initial 7 groups. So, do you finding it difficult to address these problems? Or you don't know the steps to follow? What are the challenges you have? Did you manage to define the problem? Exactly what you want to do? Or you need more support? Any thoughts? Yeah, so I'll give you some steps now, yeah? See whether you can address the problem based on these steps now, yeah? First you have to define the problem well, because otherwise it will be a vague idea. And explore what they already know, yeah? You may know, of course, you are doing computer science, cyber security, so you may know already some details, yeah, background knowledge. And then determine what you want to know, yeah? Of course, there will be a knowledge gap. That's what you are going to acquire during the course or the program, yeah? And then you will find a way to come up with a solution. It doesn't have to be a single solution as well. There can be a couple of solutions, yeah? So if you are a lecturer, what you need to think that how you can facilitate this kind of approach in problem-based learning. But for the students, you shouldn't be fear that you got a problem, you don't know anything about it, but at least somehow try to relate to what you know, and then start from there and acquire little by little required knowledge. This can be a 12 weeks problem, you know. So every week we deliver some session in order to address part of this problem. So by the end of the 12 week, you can submit your assignment and address this particular problem. So can you break down into these steps now, the problems I gave you before, yeah? I'm sure you choose one of them, yeah? And for one of these ideas, I want you to break down these aspects, yeah? So define the problem clearly, and then identify the knowledge you already have some from your previous modules, or maybe if you are first year students, or it may be from your A-levels, and what you need to acquire new knowledge, and then the approach, yeah? Or couple of solutions, yeah? Can you do that for next 5 minutes or so? How about the new groups? Do you know what you want to do? Yeah. Are you okay with these 2 problems, or you have many other problems? Yeah. Are you doing computer science or cyber security? Computer science, yeah. You can choose something related to AI or machine learning. And see how we are going to, if you are given this problem as an assignment, what would be your approach? How you would approach that problem, yeah? So that's what we are trying to learn through this session, problem-based learning, yeah? Yeah, I'll give you 5 minutes to think about these steps, yeah? Steps are written here. Maybe you can join from the next exercise if you are a bit behind what we are saying, but other groups I want some discussion. You don't need to worry about the last two parts. Don't try to solve the problem in 2 hours. So you can try the rest of the things here. Shall we discuss from each group? So what were your thoughts and What is your plan basically? Yeah. Who wants to go first? Is your group ready? Yeah, you can tell what you discuss. How about you? Still discussing or? Okay. Uh, I guess take a couple of photos as well. Yeah, so we can. I may have phone. Yeah. I took a couple of them as well. Okay, I think time is running out, so we'll discuss one by one. Yeah, we may not go for each group, but we'll choose one or two groups. Yeah. Who wants to go first? Yeah. I'm not interested here about the subject knowledge. Yeah. I want to see your approach, whether you can use similar kind of approach in your workshops and classrooms and so on. Yeah. So shall I start with Shekhar? Yeah, you can start. No? Yeah, I'll give you a chance. Yeah, come on. Can I get a mic? Sorry. This group. Yeah, the mic is on the way. Yeah. Yeah, please, one group can start. Yeah, don't worry that you may be at the very beginning, that's fine. But some of you may have thought a bit further down the line, but you don't need to worry. Yeah, you can start. Yeah, okay. I'll try. Your group worked hard, so I'll. It's okay, yeah. Please, sir. Please listen, yeah.
Hello, hello.
So we have chosen second part, sir, that is the data protection to biometric data. So biometrics here, so we can consider unimodal as well as multimodal biometrics. Actually, we have worked on, this is the new topic for me, but just for our discussion, what I understood here, For person identification, we have used various biometrics. There, so for accuracy, only we worked towards accuracy, how to improve the accuracy. In case of unimodal, it is not up to the mark, then we go with multimodal biometrics.
Okay.
So there we achieved, for example, in Aadhaar, they are using multimodal biometrics.
Yep.
But here what sir has given problem, so for example, iris or face or fingerprint or signature. Signature can be forged,
Yep.
or fingerprint, dummy fingerprint can be used, or a dummy iris eyeball can be used, as well as a mask, face mask, 3D face mask can be used. So now in that case also, person, so for example, I am the authorized person to enter this hall. He is not the authorized person to enter this hall, but if he is using that mask, my face, like my face, that is allowed to enter the this hall, secured place.
Yeah.
Now, how to address these issues is the
Problem, yeah.
yes problem.
So-
So now for this, my team he has given very interesting solution. So let him explain that.
Thank you.
Regarding face or iris, the attacker might use a 3D face mask or something like that. But we can enable something like natural behavior detection, something like that. So if he is using a still image, so it is in one motion only. So for face, maybe the blinking or natural movements, something like that we can detect. And for fingerprints, the attacker can use 3D printed silicone, something like that. So maybe if we increase the number of pixels used for, for capturing the fingerprints,
Yeah.
if there is a number of pixels are increased, maybe we can detect the between real and fake ones.
Yeah.
And basically, whatever this input we are gathering from the user, like maybe it's fingerprint, password, or anything. After all, it is just a set of data.
Yeah.
Yeah. So using hashing techniques, maybe we can secure this.
Yeah.
For example, the user entered password. It may be of something like 10 digits or something. We can convert this into a fixed amount of length, like 256 bits or something.
Yeah.
It is a one-way technique. Using the user's input, we can convert this into that 256 bits or something like that.
Yeah.
But it is not reversible. I mean, it is reversible, but it is time complexity,
Yeah.
and you need high-end PC, and obviously the attacker won't put much effort to that.
Yeah.
So for now, these hashing techniques will give security for us. But the introduction of quantum computers are a big threat right now.
Yeah.
The techniques like Sora's algorithm and all, it can easily find the factorization of complex numbers and etc. So for now, I think hashing can
Yeah.
solve these problems.
Yeah.
Okay, thank
That's
you.
great. Thank you. I think very good discussion happened in that group. So you addressed the biometric, single mode, multi-mode, and you discuss about the hashing, so which is important for privacy, you know. So that's a very good technique. So from within your group, if you have to address this problem, what you already know and what you want to know, did you discuss that one? Do you have any existing knowledge around this problem? And do you need additional lectures, so additional workshops in order to address these problems? Did you discuss that part? Because here this is about what you already know in order to address this particular problem and what you need to acquire in terms of knowledge and skills. So you mentioned about quantum computing, isn't it? Shor's algorithm and all. So that may be something you want to acquire within this module or the program. So that's looking forward. But you may be able to connect with what you already know. You know, biometric, you mentioned about different types of biometrics and so on. So that's the kind of beauty of problem-based learning. The problem is very good, complex and real life, because biometrics is everywhere. And now you want to address something, you want to address that particular problem, but you start with what you already know, and then you are trying to acquire the required knowledge within the next 12 weeks of the module or the coursework or the paper, whatever the name you call. So yeah, well done, that particular group. Can I go to another group who address the cryptography part? Yeah, okay. Yeah, please. Thank you. Yeah.
Actually, while dealing with the problem of wireless sensor networks, we are familiar. The foundation is that, first of all, we must know what is wireless sensor networks. So, all of you know the fundamentals. Then, what are the theory behind the wireless sensor networks, the evolution and the current scenario, and what are the future applications? So, everything should be in block, then it will be more attractive and it will be captured rather than theory. Then behind the block, it is very easy to tell the theoretical concept, but in the back end, there is a mathematical formulation for the node deployment, for the evaluation, the execution, everything. So we must know some fundamentals of mathematics. It will be boring, but in order, if you know the mathematics, how to read or how to enjoy that, then it is very easy to learn any technical papers, to understand. It's analytical skill.
Yeah.
That is the main requirement for this subject as well as this problem.
Yeah.
Then we can see like basic understanding the issues. So current scenario, we can see what are the applications of wireless sensor networks. It is applied in several areas like military applications. In this room also several sensors can be there. It can be controlled by a central server. Many things are there.
Yeah.
So the main challenges, what are the power supply backup of a wireless sensor network? That is first challenge which we need to address. Still lot of papers are there and more techniques are there. How to retain the power supply backup or the battery power. That is the first challenge. And the next thing, that node deployment, how it has to be deployed, what should be the distance, what should be estimated area. And third one is the most prominent thing, what are the attacks. For example, I am asking like, sir, and coming, how you are able to identify me. There should be some unique identification, as the earlier team has mentioned about biometrics. That also can be linked with wireless sensor network in order to avoid the threats. So there are a lot of existing threats in this field like jellyfish algorithm. Lot of algorithms are defined to understand the duplication of the nodes. So our teammates, we had a discussion there from different domain. Altogether, apart from the technical side, we can link it in a common man's or layman's point of view, how easy it can be understood. Irrespective, we can leave the mathematics, we can leave the technical knowledge. For example, we are traveling in metro train. We are using a QR code to scan. That is a part of scanning only. Sometimes there is a failure also. So we'll be getting an assistance from the technical personnel. So he will be enabling it. Sometimes that also not possible. Then they will be using their own card to swipe. So these are real-time examples. And there is a sensor inside the train also to open, to close. And we are having the automated car sensors where there is a fault, it will be detecting. So everywhere sensors are connected. These are real-time examples, and there is a requirement that in future enhancement, that is the other part, what can be added for better improvement. So that also we need to address when we are solving a problem, because it's a continuous process. Problems are coming, we need to find solution. Again, problems will be there. Then only innovations will happen. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, and very good discussion over there as well. So as you mentioned, I think problem is clear. We need wireless sensor networks in different scenarios, but in order to address that particular problem, as you said, we may need algorithm development as well as some mathematical foundation, which you may have acquired during your first year or second year of your degree. And in the final year, if you are doing the wireless sensor module, of course, you have to learn a bit more on the mathematics implementation and so on. So that's why problem-based learning, you are putting a very good trigger or a problem to the students. I think which they can be inspired and interested, and then we we give them the required knowledge and skills throughout the course. So towards the end of the course, they are comfortable of addressing this particular problem. Yeah? So thank you very much for that group as well. One more group. Did anyone went for the cryptography part? Oh, everyone went for the privacy? Yeah, seems you are interested. Yep. Yes, please. Yeah.
So we are addressing the problem of how to secure our communication during post-quantum era. So before diving deep into it, like most of them are from other background too, so we have to brush up from basics itself.
Yeah.
Our communication as of now, we do it through public channel. And public channel means all of the, many of the users use the same channel for our communication. And there is one more channel which is called as private channel, where only 2 users use the single channel. And we don't have that, we don't have it right now. Like it's not practical too. Like
Yeah.
the private channel is not practical too, because there are millions and billions of devices, and connecting 2 devices each, it's not practical. So we use something called public channel. But then the main threat to public channel is that a malicious actor should like he could also be present in that same channel, and he can intercept or view that all the communication, or he can modify the communication which is going through that channel.
Yeah.
So as of now, we use something called as cryptography. The basic standard is like we use modern cryptography as of now.
Yeah.
Cryptography is a technique where we hide, or not hide actually, but we encrypt the data.
Yeah.
Like we encrypt it in the sender's end, and we decrypt it in the receiver's end
Yeah.
by the process called as encryption and decryption. And we use a encryption and decryption algorithm for
Yeah.
it.
So
So-
may I stop you there? So up to now, what you discuss, you already know. Yeah. So you are in the second stage. Yeah. So you know about how the data is going through the public internet, and you know the encryption, decryption is there to secure. Yeah. So I believe now you are moving to the difficult part. Difficult part in the sense that the knowledge you need to acquire in order to solve this problem. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
The cryptography works, like the modern cryptography works by like, it's based on a principle called as Kirchhoff's principle, or we call it as like the whole word can know the algorithm, the whole word knows the encryption and decryption algorithm. But then in this process of cryptography, we hide something called as a key. A small key will be present, because of which we get that using that key into that algorithm, we get that encrypted message, and we use that key for decryption also.
Yeah.
So that key will be kept secret. But in the classical computer as of now, like the present era, we use classical computers.
Yeah.
So classical computers take infeasible time to break that key. But then there is a future era called as quantum computing and quantum computers, where it uses quantum mechanics for its processes, and it makes the job very easy. Like if our classical computers try like brute force one key at a time, a quantum computer can brute force like 100 or thousands of the key at the same time.
Yeah.
So it would make our modern cryptography feasible to brute forcing, or feasible to crack it.
Yeah.
So the solution for it is something called as post-quantum cryptography, or quantum resistant cryptography. We call it in both names. So it uses algorithms that are resistant to this quantum computer.
Yeah.
And some of the known like established quantum post-quantum cryptography techniques are TutaCrypt and PQ3. So it is under development, and even quantum computers are not yet completely established. They are the research is going on that matter, and whole world is contributing to that technology.
Yeah.
But then even if it is established, like not whole public would get it, but mainly this army or higher authorities only would be having access to it. And even post-quantum cryptography is under research.
Yeah. So thank you very much, and very good technical details as well. So as you mentioned that, I think most of you here knows about encryption and decryption, which you can do in using the conventional computers. But with the quantum computers, I think he mentioned about Shor's algorithm. So most of the existing algorithm will be obsolete soon. So that's why they want to force quantum cryptography. So there are different approaches. So if you are following applied cryptography module or a paper this semester or this term, so the lecturer will give you like every week some new algorithm for the post quantum cryptography, you know. So you will learn. So you won't have all the knowledge at the beginning of this problem, beginning of the course. But every week during the workshops or during the lecture, they can provide you some initial information. For example, lattice-based cryptography, different approaches for quantum cryptography approaches. So by the time you are 7-8 weeks, you know about post-quantum cryptography, so then you can go and address the problem. So that is the approach used by problem-based learning. So you give a problem, you don't know all the answers at the beginning, but every week you acquire some new knowledge, and towards the end of the module, you can complete the task and submit the assignment, and of course, you pass the module as well. So any other interesting things I shouldn't miss from your discussion, or I'll move with a bit of more background to problem-based learning. Any other group? I know you spent time, so some of you may want to share with the class. Anyone? Or you are keeping for the next activity then? Yeah. Thank you for that group as well. So I'll move on to the bit more details about the background. Yeah. So about problem-based learning. So this is developed originally in medical schools. So it's like patient examination, you know. So you basically put someone into the deep end and ask them to evaluate. So you did the same, isn't it? You may not know post-quantum cryptography, but you started from what you know, and then you go on getting that knowledge as well. Problem drives learning. So the problem is the trigger, the interest, the hook for the students to keep engaged in the problem. Problem comes before knowledge acquisition. It's okay, you may not have the knowledge at the beginning, that's fine. You will acquire that throughout your course or the program, maybe 3 years program as well. So they will work on more usually complex and real world problem. For me, that the problem you address, cryptography, post-quantum cryptography, can be a whole module for a MSc module. So we have a module called applied cryptography. So I will give that problem at the beginning for 20 credit module. So 12 weeks I will teach about different techniques, and at the end of the 12th week, each student has to submit the assignment. So that's a perfect scenario for a good problem-based learning approach. So as I said, examining what you know, and you may have identified gaps and you are filling every week, and it is allowing student-centered learning because you are taking the ownership. And even though you mentioned that with the quantum computers, it will be under threat. You didn't mention any particular algorithm, but the other group mentioned Shor's algorithm. So you're working in a group setting. You know, everyone has different types of knowledge and different interests. So if you are in the same group, I think your knowledge can be accumulated, and it will be the benefit of the outcome of the assignment as well. So that's why there are two aspects. One is learning based on particular interest, as well as social interaction. You learn with your peers as well. So you are learning knowledge from peers, and that will increase the quality of your outcome. So strong focus on the process of acquiring knowledge. So you want to think, if you are an academic, you want to think about the process of acquiring this knowledge, not only the content. You may, for time being, you may forget about quantum cryptography, but the process of acquiring that knowledge is important as well, not only for the academics, as well as for the students. When you are engaging in a task, you should know that this is what the lecturer is trying to do now. Not just giving the knowledge, but they are training you for a particular set of processes in order to get to that particular knowledge. So the main one is the main focus point is the problem, or some people call it trigger. Of course, it can be aligned with the course objectives. It can be a BSc or MSc program, or knowledge, skills, and attitude. So you can break it down to learning outcomes or the indicative content of the module and so on. And the trigger can be, I gave you 1 or 2 sentences, isn't it? It can be image, or it can be a video or animation. So it can be a YouTube video. You have to see the video and see, we are trying to solve that, come up with a solution for that particular issue. Yeah? It doesn't have to be a text sentence description. Again, same thing, incomplete information. So that's why at the very beginning, you may be confused, isn't it? What to do, how to address. So that's why you have to define the problem as well within your groups. So when you are working in the classroom, and it can be dynamic and fuzzy as well. Sometimes we do in when we teach. So we give them a problem. Maybe after 2-3 weeks, we change the scenario. We say that the project manager is fired from the company. So how you are going to adjust? So now students have to think about that problem now. Yeah, so it can be dynamic problem as well. It doesn't have to be the problem given at the first week. It can be third week, you change it a little bit. See how you are going to adjust, yeah. And of course, it can be complex, and you can come up with many solutions as well. So it doesn't have to be a one single solution. So I think you mentioned about sensor networks, and again to address privacy, isn't it? So your group mentioned about biometrics and multi and single mode biometrics as well. So there can be different solutions. It doesn't have to be a single solution. Yeah? So these are few other aspects. And let's compare it with the traditional learning. So you will be given information during a lecture or tutorial, and students will memorize it, and then they will try to apply that to a problem. Yeah? That's what our normal traditional classroom, isn't it? But with the problem-based learning, you introduce the problem first, and then identify the students themselves. You need to identify what you need to know in order to address that particular problem. And then if you think there's a gap, you will learn that one and then apply and solve the problem. Yeah? So you can see some similarities, some clear difference as well, how to get the same thing done, but in a better way and in a more interesting way. Yeah? So if you are giving the same assignment like 3-4 years, the interest will go away, isn't it? But if you are trying to tackle something new, complex, students are more engaged. I think from our experience we can tell that. So having these kind of approaches would help in providing a better student-centered learning approach. And there are two theories in problem-based learning. First one is we are always trying to connect to our prior knowledge. That's why you mentioned about encryption and decryption and how data goes through the internet, yeah, security. So that is the prior knowledge. You always try to, when you are trying to solve a problem, you always go back to your basics, what you know. So that's one of the learning theories behind problem-based learning, and the other one is social interaction. Because you are working in a group setting, yeah, you can learn from your peers as well. I think there was one yesterday group. Someone mentioned that if there's someone, even not even a lecturer, if a fellow student can tell you in a better way, better visualization, you will remember, and you can go and write in the exam as well. So social interaction element is there as well. So those are some learning theories behind PBL. Have you heard about deep learning and surface learning? What is surface learning? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good, very good answer. So surface learning is you are trying to learn something maybe through a lecture and try to memorize that surface. But if you are given a problem, you have so many things you don't know, then you will deep dive into the problem. You will refer to textbooks or online tutorials and so on. So it allows more deep learning approach if you are using this kind of learning. I think this slide also repeat the same thing. Yeah, I'll go to the next one for a couple of examples. So these are few barriers. Is it true in Mangalore? It is true in Cardiff Met. So sometimes students want to know just that information just to pass the exam, yeah, or the assignment. Yeah. So there may be a large group. Sometimes it's not possible to do work in groups. You know, even this classroom, I would say, unless we have the support from the other academy, it's very difficult to handle, isn't it? Otherwise, it will look like a lecture theatre. So how you are going to apply problem-based learning in such scenarios? So that's very important to understand as well. So there can be some solutions, so you can let them know that this is a better approach to learn. And because not only the content, but the approach you are taking in order to address a problem is important. Especially if you are a computer scientist or if you are going to be an engineer, you should know the way you are approaching the problem and solving it as well. So having that understanding would help. And it is same for the large groups, yeah? So how we are going to facilitate large groups, especially 100 or 200 students, so how to organize a brainstorming session. So these are the things that we need to pay a bit more attention if we are to follow this kind of approach. I only cover part of a module. So let's say sometimes we share modules, yeah? Modules in the sense papers. So let's say for Angesh and myself sharing a module. So if I'm doing only the small part, so of course I can try problem-based learning in my particular part, yeah? And then of course I have to make sure that other lecturer is comfortable with and pass it to the other lecturer smoothly without any interruption. And students dislike group work. Is it the case? Do you like group work? Yes or no? Is it simple? Do you like group work? How do you get marks? Do you get a 1 mark for each group member or you get individual marks? Just for the information. How do you get marks for the assignments if it is group work? For all the group members get the same mark? No? So you get individual marks. Huh? Uh-huh. How about others? Is it fair if you get the same mark? You have 5 members, someone is not coming at all. He's playing cricket and 4 of them are always in the university and that person also gets the same mark as yours. Are you happy? Yeah. Happy? That's good. Yeah. So have you heard about peer marking? Peer marking? Peer assessment? Yeah. I mean, I think you may have done it as well. So in one of my modules, so I asked students to mark their peers in the group. So we keep a small slip. Out of 5, they give a mark to the member, but they won't show it to the other members. I keep an envelope and they put it in the envelope, but I go home and get some individual mark. So if there's someone who's playing cricket, not coming to the university, sometimes if they are very good friends, of course they will give 10 each, 5 out of 5. But sometimes I have seen that they are giving 1 or 0 because they are not contributing, It's not fair to get because someone is very committed and doing hard work and you can't give the same mark for everyone if there's only one active person in the group, yeah? So peer marking, peer assessment kind of approach, it is your time, of course, it takes my time, I have to print those slips, I have to collect them, additional work for the lecturers, but that is in a way fair, So even within the group there's differentiation, so you will get different marks. Even though you perform, let's say, perform bad, within the group, of course, you will receive low mark. If you perform well, you will get a higher mark. But if the friendship is more, of course, you will give the better marks to your friends as well. But it is always, you can be true to yourself and make sure that everyone gets what they deserve. Yeah. So that's about the group work. So if you are using problem-based learning in group settings, you have to think about these as well. Yeah. Because they are working in a group. They are learning within the group, but you should make sure that everyone get what they deserve. Yeah? So this is the approach as well. I think I am repeating again and again. Explore the problem, what don't we know, learn what we don't know, and apply this knowledge. Yeah? So this is a cycle. And subject-based learning versus problem-based learning. So in the subject-based learning, so the lecturer will tell you what you want to learn, yeah? Then they will learn and then they will try to apply it to the problem. But in the problem-based learning, as I said, the problem comes first and then you decide what information you need to address and it goes on. And problem solving and problem-based learning. Is there any difference in these two? Without looking at the slide, of course. Yeah, problem solving, you are trying to solve a problem based on what you already know. Yeah, you don't need to acquire new knowledge. But in problem-based learning, you need new knowledge. Yeah, because to address post-quantum cryptography, you need to learn bit more. You need to read bit more papers, bit more textbooks, and then only you can apply. But solving, you already know something and you straight away trying to solve it. Yeah. For example, Java, let's say, programming assignment. You have already done the basics, so you are trying to apply. So nothing more to learn, but just to practice how to apply. Yeah. So some visual triggers or videos, so you can use anything as a trigger for the problem. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a statement or a big case study. And within the group, so there can be different group members. Yeah, chair, a scribe who will write the meeting notes within the group, whatever you are discussing. Tutor, facilitator, and there will be someone who's playing cricket as well, somewhere here, one of the group members. So managing the group, so there should be proper approach for managing the groups and making sure they are meeting every week within the workshop and so on. Sometimes we ask students to send us the meeting minutes for each group meeting so that we know that they met and they discussed this project idea. So even though I discussed, I mean, you may have come across this before, yeah, problem-based learning. So is it natural for computing and engineering subjects? It's not a strange thing, isn't it? We are trying to solve problems as computer scientists or engineers. So in a way, it is a very good fit for our discipline. So yeah, the learning is triggered by a problem. So these are few examples from our some of our modules. And then we will go into, we'll give a task for you to address within your modules as well. So this is a information security module in our MSc program. So these are few learning outcomes, yeah. Produce a risk assessment. Every student should achieve these objectives at the end of the module. And appraise information security standards, regulations, and laws. So we should make sure that these things, they know these things by the end of the module, yeah. So this is the problem given to them. Yeah, it's a small part of the assignment. Can you take time to read the, if you can read from the back as well. This was 2020, so just after COVID. Yeah, so that's why I try to relate to the pandemic as well. Do you remember contact tracing during COVID-19? Yeah, you are trying to find the contacts who are infected and whether you went close to someone infected and so on. But some countries like Korea, they use facial images, CCTV to track, do the contact tracing, which is privacy invasive, you know. So it's okay to tackle a pandemic, but the authorities may use your CCTV images beyond the pandemic as well, yeah. So that's the risk. So in this particular problem, I am asking, I asked students whether is there a problem of sharing personal data in case of situations like pandemic, or whether we need to have special provisions within data protection law. I think you have a data protection bill in India, am I right? So which is inspired by GDPR, General Data Protection Regulation. I think a couple of years ago, Indian government have an act called Data Protection Bill. So this doesn't have any avenues for sharing data. But when it comes to pandemic-like situations, which is life-threatening, of course there should be avenues for sharing data, for example, medical research and so on. So that's what we try to address. So in order to address this particular one, they have to do the risk, identify risk of sharing data, and they want to know the different standards and regulations in data protection. So if they have done this part, address this problem, I know that they have achieved the learning outcomes for that module. This is just 2 outcomes for that particular module. So by looking at their submissions, I know that how far they have gone into understanding these, achieving these learning outcomes. Yeah. And this is the same, I think I mentioned about Twitter hack yesterday. So this is, I think happened like 3-4 years. Someone hacked Twitter and posted messages on very high profile people. And this was given as a trigger problem, and they want to come up with some solutions as well. And this is another one for the same module in a different term. Can you please read the problem statement? So the problem is, I mean, you have been, not a problem, it's a good thing, you have been assigned as a chief information officer. Now you have to come up with the information security standard for the organization. So you want to report to the, is it the case? Yeah, so you need to report to the CIO about information security standards. In order to do that, you have to learn about different standards within that country. So you can talk about international standards, you can talk about local standards, then, but you need to study them, yeah? So you have to find that information, then that triggers your learning. You have to acquire new knowledge, then only you can complete this particular solution. So this is the way we put forward that case. Yeah. Give me a second. I'll see whether this link is working. Yeah, so there's a Miro board for everyone. So I want to think about a module in your current practice and a problem that you can give as an assignment for that module. And I believe you can read it here. What students know already from your prior modules, what knowledge they need to acquire, how do you support group work, and what are the challenges. So these are the ones you need to discuss. So I'll give you some prompts. I'm sure you can scan. There's a laptop in every desk as well. And these are the information in order to do the activity. Yeah. So you discuss about problem-based learning, but now I want you to relate it to one of your modules in your university. It doesn't matter whether it is commerce or cybersecurity or computer science, but whatever your inputs, you can put it here. Yeah. At the moment, there are only 6 spaces. These are sticky notes. Yeah. You can drag and drop sticky notes from here and write the answers for your module name and what is the problem and how we are going to support group work and so on. Yeah. So work with your lecturers are there as well. So can you do it, or any questions? Yeah. I'll put the link, or let me know, I can change the link or the other one. Yeah, I'll show this slide first. Yeah. So think that next time you are going to use problem-based learning for your module. Yeah. Think about the module and what kind of problem you would give your students. And you know, students can suggest something as well. If you are interested in one particular aspect or a problem, you can mention that in the group as well. So that's fine. Are you with me? Yeah. You know what to do, or any questions? Not clear what to do? Yeah, this is the link. You want to take a photo, I can roll it back anytime. Yeah. And you can use the laptop or your own laptop as well. Yeah. If you click it, you will go to a Miro board here. Yeah. And don't delete others' sticky notes. Yeah. It will be a bit messy. If you are working on the yellow part, only work on the yellow part. Yeah. Don't move to someone else. Yeah. So there are about 6 at the moment, but I can increase if you want more. Yeah. Are you clear what you want to do? Yeah, give it a try. You are here, so otherwise it will be a waste of time for you. Yeah, you want to get the photo? You can get the link from here. Through this activity, I will see how much you understood about problem-based learning. Yeah? If you say something else, I will. I'm sure you understood. Now I want you to act upon it. Yeah. It doesn't matter you are a student group, yeah? You can think about a scenario where you would have a better learning experience in a module, yeah? You may not have the academics approval, but why not think about it? And when you go to the Miro board, the guide is already there, yeah? I can see someone already, but don't change the locations, yeah? It will be a bit messy. I think someone is moving the, yeah. Of course, it will take time to realize, but the triggers are there already, yeah? So what you need to do is on the top anyway, yeah? Module, problem, and so on. For each sticky note can be, one sticky note can be the module name, one sticky note can be the problem, and so on, yeah? And don't delete others' work. Yeah. I'll give 5-10 minutes, yeah, not more than that. I know you may be hungry for how many minutes? Finish 1 o'clock. Bit late as well, yeah. We can take a little bit more. You want the link? The link is here, and the actual board is here, yeah? Oh, someone deleted all together. Yeah, I'll do a separate lecture on how to work on Miro boards, yeah? Yeah, don't worry about it, but don't delete it, the whole thing, yeah? So have you thought of any module, this group? Any particular module you are going to address? You can think about a module and then a problem for that module and then bit more details, yeah? How about your group? Have you thought about any module? I can see the notebook. Yeah. Any module? Have you thought any particular module or a problem? You can leave the bags. No one will steal. Have you thought about module? Think about the module, you know. So think about a problem that you would like to address within that module. It means pose, you know. Just have a chat together and see. Any questions or anyone not clear what you want to do? Yeah. Just type the module name. No. It's from whatever the module you are teaching here in Mangalore. Yeah. Choose a module, choose a problem for that module, and think about how you are going to support the group work, or what are the challenges would be to implement problem-based learning. Yeah. In that module, yeah, in that module, yeah. Don't think about the previous one now. Yeah. Are you clear what to do? Have you chosen a module? Yeah. Just try. Think about a module you are doing now. Module means the paper or a coursework, yeah? Okay. How is your group doing well? Yeah, I can do. Have you thought about a module? Which one you are going to choose? Tell me a module name you are doing right now. Which one? Yeah, choose a module. Let's say Java programming. So then think about a problem to address within that module. Yeah, and how you would like to work as a group. You know, what would be the challenges? So those are the things you can think about. Yeah. So let's say you have and you submit assignment, isn't it, at the end of the module. So what kind of problem you want to address within that 12 weeks or 10 weeks of the module. So that's what you have to think about. Yeah, I'll put the link up here. Sorry. Have you thought? Okay, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, tell me. Is there a module called deepfake in the current course? The problem can be deepfake, but think about a module that you are doing right now. What module you do? Do you have AI module? Yeah. So in the module name, you can put AI, and the problem can be deepfake. Not deepfake. It should be deepfake detection or deepfake generation. You know. Yeah. And then go into a bit more detail. Yeah. Those who wants the link, it's here. Yeah. Some groups ask the link. How about your group? Have you thought about anything? Yeah, tell me a name of one of your modules you are doing now. Cryptography? Yeah, so, you okay? So the module name will be cryptography. And then think about a problem to address in the cryptography module. And then go into the other details I asked. Yeah? You are busy? Sorry? I think you got the charger. Yeah, I managed to get it. with the Miro board, you can use zoom in and zoom out. Yeah, you can go to your section alone. You don't need to loiter around other spaces. Eleven, 115, 130, 115 or 130 would be okay. Yeah, I think I will quickly cover inform as well, otherwise they will miss that part. Yeah. Who's modifying group 1? The yellow one, top left. Who's working on that? Then I know who deleted. Anyone working on group 2? Which one? You are? Group 2. Yeah, okay, that's fine. This one, this is a cricket tournament or something else? Yep. This one? At least write the module name and the problem that you want to address within that module. Yeah. I hope you understand the name module. Yeah. It is the course or the paper. I heard that some of you call it paper. Yeah. So. Did you watch the match yesterday? Did you watch the match? Did you watch the match? RCB, IPL. Okay, they won, yeah? Are you supporting? Yeah. When?
Finishing shot.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Yeah. It came to force, but then yeah, Karthik and they did well. Yeah, I watched in the last bit, not from the beginning. Yeah, coming up. Yeah. Yeah, can you please note down at least the module name and the problem? at least one sentence, yeah? That's enough for the time being, yeah? So we can move to the next section, research informed teaching as well, yeah? Yeah, I can see one entry for group 1. Yep, problem-based learning in password management. Yeah, but I can't see the module name. Which group is that? Your group? Yep. So what is the module name? Your no, password management is the problem, isn't it? What is the module? Module means the subject you are doing in the university. Is there a module called password? No, I don't think so. Password? Ah, okay, okay. Is there a module, actual module called password? Module in the sense? Paper. Is there a paper called password? No, I don't think so. Is it? So it should be something information security or something like that. It's password management. Yeah, it can be a subject or a module. Yeah, that's fine. But this can be the problem you are trying to address within the whole module, whole subject. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for that group. And other groups, have you thought about? Yeah, I think you are group 2, yeah? You mentioned AI, but nothing on the problem yet, yeah? Yeah. Group 3. Yeah, I can see software engineering. I believe it is a module name, but I want to see a problem that you are going to address within software engineering. And there's something called Python as well, somewhere. Yep. So who's modifying this group? Python. Yeah, that's fine. So there's a module called Python, am I right? Yeah. And this is your problem? What is this part? What you know already, yeah. That's good, yeah. It's a good approach, yeah. Few more bits for you to do, yeah. Yeah, well done. TCP/IP model. I believe this is part of the subject. Yeah. Is there a module called TCP/IP? Yeah. Computer networks. Yeah. So the module name should be computer networks, and then you have to discuss the problem. You know, TCP/IP can be your background knowledge, what you already know, but you should identify a complex problem that you will address within the module. Yeah. Across. Did you try to enter something? I can see the link is. Huh? Some of others may have the mobile phone. Phone, yeah. It's good to use data on this one. So anything I missed on the board that I need to highlight? Did anyone else updated the board? This group? Which one? Which part? Is it bottom right or did you update? In the middle or? Yeah. So let me check. Communication and computer networking, not that one. Artificial, yeah. So this is the module name, yeah. So what is the problem you are going to address within that module? Did you upload anything? Which one? Where is it? In the middle or? In the same one? Is it this one? Number 2? Yeah. Sorry. Is it this one? So communication and computer networking? So that's the module name. Yeah. Where's your problem? So the problem you are going to address within this module. Yeah. Did you thought about the problem? AI? Did you update? Yeah, number 2, yeah, wait. It's still AI only, yeah? You didn't upload afterwards. You can modify the same one, you know? You can double click and modify. I think we can conclude this task, yeah, and then we can move to the next section, research informed teaching. Did you update? Where is it? First one, third one? Third one. So module name is cryptography. And what is the problem? Can you summarize? Others can read it here as well. Yep. So are you trying to address hashing you mentioned? Yeah. So this is the problem part. Yeah. Why? What you already know. Okay, that's fine. So this is the group work part. Yeah, what kind of support? So this is a good example from your group. So the module and the problem and what you already know, cryptography, and what kind of support you need in order to address that problem within the group setting. Yeah. So I think this is a very good example. It's the third group. Yeah. So I'll keep this Miro board live, so you can update or you can refer to it later on as well. Yeah. Yeah. So can I have your attention? Yeah. So we can move to the next section. So thank you very much for engaging in the subject. So I believe you understand what is problem-based learning. Yeah. So for any coursework or any subject, any module, you can pose them a problem, and you can teach what they want in order to address that problem and submit the assignment or write the exam. Yeah. So that's the ultimate aim. So this is a, can I have your attention please? Yeah. So we can pause the group work for the time being. Yeah. So problem-based learning is a solution. There's another thing called project-based learning. So you are aiming to create an artifact. Yeah. For example, you are finally a dissertation module or your MSc. So if it is a project-based, you are trying to produce an outcome or artifact. But when it comes to problem-based learning, it's solution. It is not a one solution. It can be, there can be several solutions as well. And how you get these problems? Where you can get these problems? Of course, I mean, we don't know everything happening in the industry or anywhere. So where you can get these problems for your modules? Yeah, I believe the university or your department may have an industry liaison committee. Yeah, because industry is addressing latest problems in the world. So you can get those details from the industry committees or hackathons. So there will be different ways you can get these problems within. So I think a couple of times in our university as well. So we invited industry leaders to come and give us problems for students to address within the modules. So then the students are very much interested because that is a problem for them as well. So they are trying to solve it as well. On the back of that, you can get some consultancy or any other part-time work or placement with the company as well. So there are ways you can get these problems. You don't need to be too stressed about producing problems. So there will be other ways you can get real-world problems from others as well. So these are few references to talk about problem-based learning. And I will wrap this session, both of us will wrap this session with research-informed teaching. Have you heard this term before? Research-informed teaching? I'll ask from the lecturers first. So, research-informed teaching. So how universities are different to the schools, primary and secondary schools? Because university, we do research. Yeah, academics and students, they do engage in research. So that's why they are creating new knowledge. Yeah, so that's the main difference between a secondary school, A-level, and a university. So what is research-informed teaching then? We do research, so we embed that research content within our modules. Yeah. So if I do cryptography research, I will embed that content in my cryptography module. So that is how research comes. And I'll ask my students to contribute to that research. So I am involving students into that research as well. So we can do blog posts, we can do publications. So that's what meant by research-informed teaching. But not only the content, but the process, how to do research. So students will learn about the process to do research as well, scientific research, how to conduct a good survey, quantitative analysis, qualitative analysis, different research methods as well. So all the possibilities are there with research-informed teaching. So if you understand the difference between A-levels and the university, it is research. So you should know what is happening around you, what is the latest research. Because the university is there to produce not only get good jobs, but you want to contribute to create new knowledge. Yeah, so that is one of the aims of you being in the university. Yeah, so I will talk about few aspects related to research informed teaching. So explore different approach for research informed teaching, and we want to discuss, we'll discuss couple of examples from Cardiff Met, and maybe one or two examples from Mangalore University as well. So what it does, deep learning, it enables deep learning, as you mentioned previously, not surface learning. You can deep dive into a particular subject. Active learning, it will enable actively participate in the subject and work collaboratively in the group setting as well. Inquiry-based learning as well. Develop critical thinking, enhance the employability. Of course, you can get a good job if you say, I published this paper with my lecturer. Yeah, so there it will be well received. Exposure to real world and current problems, and you will develop research skills as well. You know, every company nowadays has a R&D department. So you can work as a coder or a tester, but those who have the bright minds go to R&D because they come up with new ideas for the company as well. So there will be more opportunities in that aspect as well. If you have done some research in the university, it will be easy for you to justify when you go to an interview. I have done some research, I know the process, give me the job. So that is a very well paid R&D role as well. So some myths and some facts around research informed teaching. So university research often detracts from the quality of teaching. Some people, we can argue. Sometimes we say that research and teaching quality is two different things. There may be lecturers who don't do much research, but they can be very good, very good teachers as well. And this is another myth or a fact. Courses taught by those at the cutting edge of research will necessarily be of higher quality. So if there's a lecturer who is very active in research, maybe teaching well as well, but it may be not true as well. So there are two sides as well. So sometimes you may be talking about your own research, but there may be some academics who are talking about others' research as well. They're equally important. Basically, we are informing what is happening around in the world and in that particular domain. And one thing you want to keep in mind is there are discipline difference. Of course, most of you are from engineering and computer science background. So you are used to this problem-based learning, research-informed teaching, because you are here to solve kind of problem. But of course, you have to look at in different subjects if you are in a different discipline. So they say hard PO subjects like physics, soft PO, history, hard applied like engineering, soft applied like education. So there are different types of disciplines. So you may not be able to adapt research-informed teaching in every module, but it may be sometimes may be suitable for more vocational kind of courses, computer science, engineering, and so on. So how you are going to link your research into teaching? So there are few approaches. Own research findings are integrated into their lecture. So if I publish a paper, I can create my problem-based learning based on my published paper. Yeah? So it depends on your lecturer. Students may learn about research methods and techniques. So do you have a module called research methods before you do the dissertation, final year project? Yeah. Do you have a module to prepare you for project? Yeah. You have a research methods? Yeah, I'm sure you are learning during the project itself. So this will allow you to learn about the approach, methodology to do research. Students may undertake their own projects, individual and team. It can be from the company. Students may assist staff with their research. So there may be active researchers in Mangalore, so you can help them in their research as well. Sometimes it may be outside of the modules, but it can benefit you. And of course, you can gain good experience, work-based learning. I mentioned about R&D and so on. So inquiry-based learning, and of course, the lecturers, I think this is mainly applicable for the lecturers. We also can research about how we teach students, how best our students learn as well. So, which is called You can think about student focus as well. Thank you. And 3 dimensions of curriculum design. So at this end, you are thinking about more content. But on this end, you are trying to teach students about research methodology, approach. And students are treated as audience. You are just listening to my research. Yeah, but here students are treated as participants. You are part of my research as well. Teacher focus and teaching is student focus. So if you are going in this direction, this is more inquiry-based learning or problem-based learning. You are not too much worried about the content, but you are worried about the approach you take for research. And this is also a good diagram. I think you may have seen elsewhere as well. Curriculum design and the research teaching nexus. So how your focus should be. So student focus, the y-axis, and student as audience. You are just listening to the research lectures. Or your emphasis can be for content, for example, quantum cryptography or AI, or your emphasis can be for the approach, research approach. So you can practice your research informed teaching in all these 4 quadrants. Yeah, research tutored. So students are writing papers and blogs together. And because it's student focused, they are involved. And research based, so students are undertaking inquiry based learning, more emphasis on the research approach. Research led, curriculum is structured around teaching subject content. So the professor comes and deliver a very good research lecture. And then the student will be audience. They are not that much involved like these 2 approaches. Yeah? And this is, you are trying to understand how you teach, whether students are benefiting from my teaching approach. Yeah? So this is research oriented. So may I ask from the lecturers first, which one is your current practice? Is it research tutored, research based, research led, or research oriented? Maybe one of you can answer. I'll go for you. Or anyone can answer. It's just try to understand research based. Yeah. So you are more emphasis on the approach. Yeah. So you are training the students to how to achieve, how to conduct a good research, and it will be student focus as well. Yeah. Not student as audience. So that is a better approach as well. There's no right or wrong one, but these are the available opportunities for us to embed our research within teaching. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. So it happens mainly in the final module, final project kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Again, mini project only.
Yeah.
Final year, major project,
Yeah.
group wise.
Yeah. So I believe your intention is to train them in this project approach,
Yes,
isn't it?
then towards research.
Yeah.
Afterwards,
Yeah.
we train them.
So final year project is more research oriented.
Yes,
am I
yes,
right?
yes, sir. Almost out of around 60%, 60 to 70% research oriented project only.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you very much. Anyone else want to share your thoughts? How you do it right now? As I said, there's no right or wrong way, but these are the approaches one could take in order to embed research. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not going to do this since we are. I'm hungry too. So we are running out of time. So there can be different approaches for research informed teaching, and there are certain things you need to keep in mind. Yeah. So the discipline matters. So if it is engineering, that's fine. It is kind of natural fit for research approaches or problem based, but it may not fit in humanities or social science. Yeah. And applied inquiry. If it is vocational training, again, this kind of approaches would be better. And undergraduate and postgraduate. So postgraduate may be more I mean, open to research kind of approach rather than undergraduate. Of course, in the final year, they will do a bit more research. And research methods module, this is important as well. I think in our university, before they do the project in the undergraduate and postgraduate, they have a module called research methods. So they will learn about quantitative, qualitative research methods and so on. So we, in a way, we are preparing them to conduct a research. So I'm sure you are doing this within the module itself, within the final year project as well. So how we are going to prepare the university for a research-informed teaching? So there will be certain challenges, and as well as there will be different discipline and national context. The central government, what they want to do for you, I mean, what are their expectations, and the state government. So there will be national context and the academic context. How much appetite for research within the university, and then only you can embed those research into your teaching as well. So individual characteristics of the individual academics as well. So yeah, so I prepared an exercise, but I am not going to do it for different scenarios, but I will show you some blocks that we did with one of our modules, information security. Can you see this slide? Yeah, you can read, I guess. So this is a master's module. So we ask students to create blogs based on a latest subject, and we give them a small mark for each blog as well. I think there are a couple of them. I'll open one. Yeah, so dark web and information security. So they want to talk about what are your thoughts on dark web? What would be the role of dark web in the future? Does it need to be regulated? So I pose a question to them, and they will start investigating. We are not giving any direction or any lecture. So they have to produce a small blog, and the blog can be gone here. So here you can see some of the students. Yeah, so dark web, so they will write like 500 words on that particular subject. So there are about 200, 300 students. So you can see this is one blog, and this is the second one. So this is a good way for them to engage in a research blog, and then of course you can guide them to write a research paper as well with the lecturer. Yeah, and this is another example. I'll tell you about AI and machine learning in cybersecurity, because this is 2021, because there was a big hype at the time that AI is increasingly using in cybersecurity. So I want to know what others know as well. So I put this blog, then the 200, 300 students are commenting on it. So it improves my research as well. So much data, so much avenue, so much directions, so I can accumulate through these blogs as well. So it is benefiting the researchers. At the same time, they are getting some marks for their each blog as well. So I will give a small background, what things they need to consider, and then they will start writing about blog 400, 500 words. I think they will get about 2-3% marks for each blog, and there will be 2-3 blogs per module. I think most of our MSc students are from India, so you may see some familiar names. So they will produce a good blog for each subject. So this is a way of involving students. Now students are not audience, they are participating in research. It's my interest to write cybersecurity and AI, so I make sure that my students do the same. And if there's a good blog, and if I identify a good student to write a paper or to do a PhD, so I will contact them immediately and start working with that student as well. So this is another way of approaching research-informed teaching. Yeah, so these are 3 activities that we are not going to do. So as I said, research-informed teaching is a very good approach for the university, but there are certain factors. It depends on the discipline, it depends on the individual, it depends on the appetite from the university or the department for research. And you have to, based on that, you have to come up with a better approach. And there can be practical issues as well. If you ask students to read papers, sometimes you may not have access to IEEE, access scientific papers or Springer. So there should be some cost associated with accessing scientific research as well. So that's something you need to think about it as well. Any questions? Yeah, so thank you very much for your time. So we will be doing the afternoon workshop on AI usage in learning and teaching as well, 2:30. Looking forward to see all of you. So thank you very much. So shall we take a photo all together here? Is it okay? Yeah. You all can come this way, so we can take a photo as well. Yeah, yeah, thank you. 2:30?